Network. ZNS Network. ZNS Network. Bahamas.
The views expressed on this show, interview, or program are not necessarily the views expressed by the ZNS Radio Network and, by extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. What's the secret of change? We don't fight the old. Instead, we focus on building the new. Welcome to the Table of Change. Come on in and have a seat at our table.
It's another night. It's another night, Table of Change. Listen, I miss you, Bahamas. We are here. It's 2025 on Table of Change. It's January 7th, 2025. Bahamas, are you tuning? Come online because it's Table of Change. It's time to eat. Let's go.
Jackie, you got me ready. You got me ready. You got me thinking. But with 2025, Jackie, I mean, there's so much exciting things for this new year. What was the first thing that you were thankful for that 2025 that you saw this new year?
Oh, man, how can you not be thankful for life? Mm-hmm. You know, the night, New Year's Eve, in church, when you came out, you heard that someone had an accident. So I am just thankful. And guess what? I had both of my kids home, my daughter with her husband. So that's a lot to be thankful for. She's now a Moxie tear horse.
Oh, my goodness. Congratulations. Congratulations. You know, 2025 is the year. But when I thought about 2025, I got excited. I got a little skeptical because I really want change. I want something to change in 2025. Jackie, what are you looking forward to change in 2025?
Really, the change, that Table of Change will just blow up all over the Bahamas because what we really want is change. And so for people to come on board, come with us, Bahamas. Let's talk about it. But I realized tomorrow, I keep asking myself, I mean, what is the talk show going to do? Because sometimes I have to ask myself the question to get an answer. And I said, Jackie, you have to hear things. If a store is going to open down the road, someone have to say, there's a new store opening. So if we want to change this Bahamas, if we want to change service, we have to talk about it, not just the good. We have to talk about the bad. We have to call names. Mm-hmm. We have to let them know we are watching, we're listening because we are paying. Mm-hmm. Let's make a difference.
We have to make a difference. And you're right. The only way we can make that difference is if our voice is heard. But, you know, Jackie, you know, my thing with change is I do want you to look at the man in the mirror. At some point in time, Bahama land, we have to take stock. Look at the man in the mirror and figure out how are we going to change that person staring back at us. And I think one of the biggest things that, you know, dropped in my spirit for 2025 is what am I going to take in? You know, when you take in negativity, when you take in so much garbage, so much trash, what do we expect to come out of us? It's only going to be trash. It's only going to be garbage. And one of the things that I'm working on, and I would encourage anyone to work on, which we should have been doing from time back, is make sure that we start our morning with something positive, whether it's gospel, whether it's just something motivational. But let's really try and get something positive in so we now have something positive to give back. And I think 2025, the change for 2025 is no longer what the government isn't doing. It's no longer things are so out of my control. Let's take control. Let's take control back and let's start with the man in the mirror. And I think in 2025, that's what I'm going to be working on for myself. And, you know, Jackie, when we talked about it and we said, you know, what is it that we want to bring to the table in terms of 2025, I thought to myself, what could we really have our listeners hear? What do we want them to hear from us in 2025? We got to make sure that we have positive stuff going on and we're bringing something positive to the table. And when we thought about that, that's one of the reasons why we decided to have this guest on tonight. So if you're listening to us tonight, I want you to get settled in, get comfortable, because we're going to bring some positivity. We're not just going to sit here at Table of Change and complain about stuff, about making it change. We're going to try and bring some positivity to take back from the sitting at the table. And with that in mind, that's one of the reasons why we decided to have this guest on tonight. The guest that's coming on tonight is a motivational and passionate advocate for women empowerment. As a dedicated wife, mother of one, Rickell is committed to living a purposeful and holistic life, fully embracing the call to fulfill her divine purpose. She is the visionary founder of AIM, a transformative movement created in AIM, which means affirm, inspire, and motivate women to discover, active, and fulfill their God-given purpose on earth. Rickell is the author of Affirm, a 31-day book of affirmations for women, a powerful guide designed to help women affirm their worth and walk confidently in their purpose. She also is one of the visionary authors of the Amazon best-selling anthology Unstoppable: Faith, further solidifying her voice in the realm of personal empowerment and a spiritual growth. She has a master's degree in human resources development from Barry University. Rickell's educational background is a testament to her lifelong passion for helping others, especially women. Her commitment to empowering others is evident in her roles as a former youth leader and dance leader. Tonight, on Table of Change, we gladly welcome Miss Rickell Mintz.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Bahamas. Thank you so much for the warm welcome.
It is a pleasure. When I heard you on a different show and you were talking about the event that you're having this Saturday, it just tuned right into what Jackie and I was talking about in terms of positivity and getting something positive in to have something positive to give out. And I was just curious, what inspired you to put on this event?
So for me, I've always, well, not always, since about 2020 when I launched the brand Aim Her, I always wanted to be an inspiration or a motivation to other women. And it's not that we or women don't want to be or feel motivated. It's sometimes they just don't know how, or they're not in the right circles, or they just don't have the space to be in that zone to be able to do it. So I thought pretty much this is the third year I'm doing the event, but the first time of this magnitude. But I normally would do the event in November as a start for year 2025. So the event is called Her Dream Bigger Experience. And that's just pretty much what it is, helping women to dream bigger. Like you said, we want to see some change. We want to see things differently. And my thing is we tend to put a vision board together, but how are you going to get there? What are the baby steps to get from point A to point B? We tend to put dreams down and think or sometimes even doubt that they can be possible, but it's now actualizing those dreams and realizing that, hey, my dreams are valid. As big as they may be, they're valid and I'm capable of accomplishing them. So it's just wanting to allow women that unapologetic space to say, I can and I will.
What time and location? And because we really want to encourage people to come on out. Where exactly is the location and the time? Give us all that important information.
Okay, so the event is on January 11th. That's this coming Saturday at the New Providence Community Church, which is on Blake Road. It starts at 5:30. Everything starts at 5:30. And the event is called, like I said previously, Her Dream Bigger Experience. It's just allowing a space for women to come to dream and to ignite the passions that are already in them, but maybe dormant because of setbacks, whatever it is, but helping them to be in a room with like-minded women to dream bigger for 2025 and beyond.
What would you say to that person that's, kind of on the fence about coming to the event on Saturday, or just on the fence of just trying to empower themselves? What would you say to them? Because, we think it and we want to achieve these things, but sometimes in our lives, Rickell, we have so many naysayers. What would you say to that person is surrounded at this moment with a lot of naysayers just inside their head?
What would I say to that person? One, the first thing is, what do you have to lose? If you've already been in a space where naysayers are pretty much they're to the top of your head, what is it that you have to lose now to step out on faith, to step out in a space where, you know what, this is about me. We focus so much on the outside world that we lose the voice that's inside telling us that we can and we will, because we focus on those around us or those who have no real impact for what we do and how we do it, but we allow those voices to silence us when we need to be listened to within. What is it that you want for your life for 2025? Not what they say that you can have or you won't have. What is it that you are willing to push the pedal on? What is it that you are willing to step out on faith on for this year for yourself? It's about believing in you and betting on you, not what they say or what they told you. Is what you want or choosing to believe for yourself.
Now, I know you wear a lot of hats, and, sometimes as women, facing us is a lot of like obstacles in terms of time management. Could you kind of share with us, how do you manage all of these different hats? An author, your organization, a mother. What is it that gives you your inspiration and your ability to manage all of these hats?
For me, I've always been, I've grown up being an organized person, I must say. I've been one that journals a lot. I've been one from a child, I was the scrapbooker. So I was always the one journaler. Like I have a journal in every color, shape, form, fashion. I love to write. So for me, every day for me, I have a to-do list. And when I don't fulfill those things in the to-do list, I carry that over into tomorrow. Of course, the priority items are on the top, and I am that girl who loves the highlighter crossing off what I've done for the day. I am that girl. And the following day, what I didn't get to, what I can accommodate for today and or tomorrow, I'm able to slot those back down. So for me, I manage my time with preparing prior to. A lot of times I do a lot of my preparation on Sundays for the week. However, every day I still do a little checklist to make sure that I'm getting what I need to be done. I'm getting what needs to be done. I'm doing what I need to do. I'm calling who I need to call, those type of stuff. And still, because I don't want different parts of my life to decline. I don't want the family to decline. Don't want the child to decline. Don't want my brand to decline. So the career to decline. So I have to do things for me, some order with organization. And the journaling helps me a whole lot.
I know you have your book, right? And it's an inspiration. Could you maybe read us one or two quotes from 31-Day Book of Affirmations for Women?
I surely will. I'm just picking up the book right now. So what I'll read chapter. Wait 1 second.
Well, while you're looking for that chapter, I
Okay.
heard you talking about. Let's go back to the seminar that she's having. It sounds like wherever you go tomorrow, I'm realizing that you should be eating something. There's something for you to take in, and it sounds like she's saying this is going to be some spiritual food at the seminar. Did I get it correctly?
Yes, ma'am. It will be spiritual food. And also for those persons that may not be spiritual, I don't want to limit it to just the spiritual aspect or the spiritual person. It's for anyone who desires more in 2025.
So we'll give you that moment. Did you find what you're going to read for us?
Yes, ma'am. So just a brief snippet of one of the chapters that's in the book. So this particular, it's an affirmation book, of course. So each chapter is a different affirmation. And this chapter is called, I am unapologetically me. And the quote starts, it says, there is nothing more rare nor more beautiful than a woman being unapologetically herself, comfortable in her perfect imperfection. To me, that is the true essence of beauty. And that's by Steve Maraboli. Many people go through life apologizing for how they look, act, dress, what they like and dislike, or even the dreams they choose to chase after. The opinions of others so easily sway and discourage us. Their likes and dislikes cause us to lose confidence in ourselves and shy away from presenting our true selves to the world, flaws and all. Today, understand that moment you start paying attention to others' perceptions so much that you alter who you are to accommodate their words and or feelings is the moment that you allow them to control you. Your passion, energy, and the true essence of who you are should not be dictated or directed by someone other than your creator. Create the life that you want. One, in sync with the purposes and plans of your Heavenly Father, and live that life unapologetically.
That is powerful. I heard you. It's like you were talking directly to me in terms of making an apology for who you are, because we feel that we're confident, and not until that we come to the realization that no, we're trying to dim our light because we think our light is so bright that it's making someone else uncomfortable.
Right.
So I fully felt that, and it took a lot of years, Rickell, for me to understand that.
I'm happy that you found out though. No matter the, and that's another thing too that I want women to understand. Not everyone discovers purpose or discovers that at an early age. But my thing that I would encourage you to is don't stop until you discover that part. Because it's beauty in being unapologetic about who you are.
You know, Tamara, when you open and we were talking about what do you want to do in 2025, and it's going to connect with this, and I think you had a hammer and you had a nail in your hand. And when you hit that, you know, sometimes when you miss and you hit your finger, but I think you got it right on the head, and kind of ties in what she's saying, like you have to put yourself in the mirror, like the change come with you. And that's what makes the big change. And I'm saying to myself, even in your home, not only with your husband, even with your children. You know, I visit a cousin just last night, took my son to say goodbye to one of his aunts. And she said to me, like, the house is peace. There's peace in the house. So, of course, if there was chaos and now there's peace, something had to change. And so she said she just examined herself. You know, they went through a big wave where someone died, and said she just examined herself. And she just committed herself that it has to change. And so because she decided to change, her son was always changing, and now they have a big, peaceful house. So it happens one nail, one block, one smile, one thank you, one I love you at a time.
Look in the mirror. You got to fix your man in the mirror before you can fix anything else. Give us one more of those quotes. It's just fascinating to me. I want to hear one more.
Okay. So another one that I will read says, let me go to this one. So this particular one, though, these are the two ones that I really like. This affirmation says, I affirm that I am not for everyone. The quote is, I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but that's the great part. I don't have to be. That's by Brandy Glanville. Who told you that everyone was supposed to like you, or that you should make everyone happy? Who told you that everyone would agree with how you choose to live your life? Who told you that you should please everyone? What I've come to realize and learn in this life, especially this social media driven culture that we live in, is that we spend so much time trying to please people and be liked by everyone. But Luke 6:28 dispels the notion that you should live to be loved by everyone. This verse gives instructions to bless those that curse you and pray for those who mistreat you. So if you haven't been told before, here is your confirmation. Yes, you will be disliked, cursed, sometimes even mistreated. Welcome to the real world. We spend countless hours, days, weeks, and years trying to prove our worth to people who are not even fully indebted or partially motivated by our success, much less concerned about our failures. We spend so much time trying to be seen, liked, blue-ticked, and see our status commented on that we lose sight of who we are really called to be and who we are called to help. You're not going to be everyone's preference, and you must still be motivated to do what you do and influence those who you are called to influence.
I think that's really, that is really a nice quote. I think you said, you're not that cup of tea for everyone.
Right.
Just touch who you can. Because you're not going to meet everyone in one day. You're just responsible to just touch whomever you meet in that day. And, that's my motto. If I see whoever I see, I give a smile. Most people say, I love your smile. And I'm just saying, like, I don't even know it's contagious. But you just do what it is you need to do to just touch each other.
But you guys, it takes a certain maturity. When you're in the room, you want to be a part of the room. But like we were talking about that light earlier and trying to dim that light to make yourself more likable for the room. I think it's natural that the reason I'm saying this, Rickell, is we have to hear it. We had to hear what you said, right? We have to digest it. We have to take it in. But at the time, it could be a battle. The realization of that, Rickell, I think is powerful. Of knowing that you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Because we want to be everyone's cup of tea. We want to be like, and then we start second guessing ourselves until we now expand our mind and read books like the 31-day affirmations and attend seminars like what's happening on Saturday to realize that, I'm not alone. Because you can't feel like an alien when you realize that you're not everyone's cup of tea.
Right?
So knowing that would help you.
Exactly.
And it will give you a balance, just knowing that you cannot be that person to everyone.
And one of the things I would like the listeners to take into 2025 is be selfish with yourself. And even to make that statement as a mother, as a wife, you feel so guilty for it. Because we give our all to our families, we give our all to our children, and we're taught that that is the best way to be the best mother that you can be. But when you're selfish with yourself, and you actually think to yourself to prioritize your God, to prioritize your life, prioritize some of the things that make you happy, there is room in your life, people, to prioritize yourself. And I'm talking to not just men and not just women. I'm talking as an individual. There is nothing selfish but prioritizing you. Think about it, Jackie. When the bills need to be met, whatever the kids need to get, right? No matter how small the money is, you're able to get the money. But as a woman, when you want to turn around now and now get your nails done or get your hair done, we make excuses for it. Because we feel like we're taking away from the home. We're taking away from the children. But all I'm saying to you is everything is within reason, but prioritize yourself in terms of what do you want for 2025. If you want to now maybe go into educating yourself, if you want to now maybe start a part-time business, but you're feeling that it's taking away from this or taking away from your home, just do something. Don't neglect everyone. You can't do that. Don't neglect all of the priorities in your life. But do something in 2025 to prioritize yourself. You guys, Jackie giving me a side eye, but I don't mind. Go ahead, Jackie. Put the pressure on me, Jackie.
Because I heard the word selfish, and I'm saying selfish. I'm just not getting it. But Tamara, you know what I think? What you probably missed out, and you can come back at me. You have to do that in layers of your life. Because you can't be selfish with yourself when you have small kids.
No, I'm not. I didn't say neglect anybody.
Yeah, so I think you have to know. Well, I think I got it. You have to know what to be selfish with, at what time in your life, and when. I got it.
That's why great minds are thinking alike. Rickell, help us out. Help us out, Rickell. Bring this home for us.
So what we have to understand is you can't pour from an empty cup. So it's not a matter of being selfish with my son. But if I don't fill me first, I'm depleted or I can't cater to him because mommy's tired. Likewise with my husband. If I don't fill me or find spaces or times to be alone, to be by myself, I'm not able to fill or fuel him. And so it's not, I agree with you, Tamara, it's not about you want to be selfish with that because I have to realize, okay, you know what, let me block this time for Rickell because I need some me time. That's not being selfish. That's necessary. That's actually filling my cup with some self-care that I need. I just need a detox. I just need some time to myself. But I realize I cannot continue to pour if I'm pouring from an empty cup. So continuing to whatever fuels you, that could be reading a book, that could be, it doesn't have to be the spa on all of the luxuries. It can be just reading a book. It could be just meditating. It could be just sitting still. Some persons don't know how to sit still. That could be turning off social media for just an hour. All of this is taking intentional steps to be able to pour into you first. We listen to so much things that flood us from the outside world that we can't even hear the voice inside of us saying, I'm tired. But we want to give. We put the capes on, the superwoman capes on, and we're super mom, we're super wife, we're super employee, we're super everything else. But for us, we give us we put us on the back burner. We be like, I can get to you when I need you.
And that's
But
what I wanted to say,
everyone else
Raquel.
needs us at 100, but we still we pushing hard.
If someone
We
is
now we don't give
listening,
it now.
but Raquel, if someone is listening to this right now and they are 100% disputing what I'm saying in terms of putting yourself first, you are the person that need it the most. You are the person that's falling apart because you're prioritizing everybody else but yourself. And I fought with it because the whole word, in terms of being selfish, it takes away almost as a woman. But I assure you, if you're putting up the most animosity against taking the time out to prioritize you, you need to prioritize some of you. Give you something. You have to fill your cup with something.
I want to add this, and then I'm going to give you guys the phone number because I know you want to call in. Selfishness, I'm still on that word. Be selfish, but I'm going to say be selfish in love. And you know what it brought me to? You need to communicate. You need the communication, which brings me back to the table of change. We need to hear what you're doing. You can say to your kids, I need a moment. Just give me, I need a half an hour. Or sometimes you can choose to get up 6 o'clock in the morning while everyone is sleeping to get that me time. So if we communicate, when we want to be selfish, it doesn't even seem like you're being selfish. You saying what you need, I am giving you what you need, and everybody's afresh, and we can have peace.
Okay. So, Rickell, one more time. Where do we go to fill our cup on Saturday? What time, the cost, the location, so we can really fill our cup?
To fill our cups on Saturday, I want you to head on down to Blake Road to the New Providence Community Church at 5:30 p.m. That's showtime for the Her Dream Bigger experience. It's in a room filled with like-minded women whose cups may be empty, who may not even come with a cup, but we're willing to give you one to say, here, this for you, fill this. And let's move and dream bigger for 2025. It all goes down New Providence Church, Community Church, NPCC, 5:30 p.m., Saturday, January 11th. The cost is $50 per person.
I was just going to say, is it free?
I must plug it in. Tomorrow, though, we do have a Woman Crush Wednesday, and it would be if you purchase your ticket tomorrow, you're able to bring a girlfriend free.
Oh, so it's half free if you buy one tomorrow.
And where can we purchase your book from? For those out there that may not have purchased something special for that mother or that motivational person in your life or that boss, that employee, where can we get this 31-day book from?
So the book is sold on Amazon. I have copies. You can check either any of my social media handles on Facebook. It is Rickell Mins. On Instagram, it's Kel Mins. I have copies personally, and then there you can find them on Amazon as well. But you can reach out to me. My number is 395-5259 for your personal copy.
Thank you very much, Miss Rickell. I don't want you, not because you're done sharing everything with us. You can still stay on because you might have a question concerning what's coming up next. And
Yes,
right
ma'am.
now, we are going to give you all the phone numbers because I need you to call and come on, my Family Island people. Remember, this is our show. So it's 325-5403, 4 or 5. 325-5403, 4 or 5. Toll free. You can call free 300-8255. And guess what? We have a WhatsApp now. You can WhatsApp your question in 357-9417.
You know, Rickell, it was such a pleasure having you on. And, you know, like you said, we got to fill our cup. We got to find ways to fill our cup. And Saturday would be a good opportunity to start. You know, start the year right. Start with something positive. What you're putting in is what you can now give out. But if we're putting in just negativity and nothing positive, what do we expect? What are we going to have left to give out? So just in case I get distracted, Rickell, I want to tell you thank you so much for being a part of the show and all the great things
Thank
that
you
you have.
so much for having me. Has been a long day for me, but I am grateful to be in this space tonight.
Always a pleasure. You have a great night.
Thank you so much.
Okay, take care.
Now we were talking about we're talking about women and filling their cup. But of course, you know, we can now take this in terms of men and women. We're just talking about an individual. It's not exactly we're saying it has to be a woman or it has to be a man. But I have to tell you, Jackie, I am so proud. We have in 2025 our first police woman commissioner.
Yes, we do. Miss Shanta Knowles. I got a name.
Oh my goodness, congratulations 2025. I'm looking forward to the great things that you're going to do and just how you're going to be so impactful on the force. But what do you think about this police woman commissioner?
You know, I think everything is in timing. And of course, it was a celebration for me because I went there. What was so nice about that celebration, going out there, I was excited to go because I met Miss Shanta Knowles when I was working in the bank. And so I met her, so I knew her. And even though it was my brother who she was taking over from, he passed the baton on to her. It was still so great because I think it was a spirit of togetherness out there at that police headquarters. It was not like, I'm mad at you, or, or I'm mad at this one, or I'm mad. It was like unity. One of my friends told me it was like a church service. And what I noticed there is like everyone tomorrow, they were accepting that something went wrong somewhere. They accepted it, and they all of the speakers, like, we need to start over again. We need to change is the word that they were using. And I'm saying, there goes table of change. And so once we know that, talking about once we know, when I think about the former commissioner, and I remembered his speech when he got the post, he actually spoke about, under my reign, we're going to have people who do not belong. And if you're not doing what is right on this police force, you are going to be weed out. Mm-hmm. They were his words. And I'm saying, yes, the public, they all ask for his resignation and all of that. Everybody asking, we know how it goes. And I'm saying, but are we really listening? Are we really accepting what his mandate was? Because his mandate was to weed out. And the tongue is really powerful. And what I saw happening is that exactly what he said, person that were not doing what they were supposed to do on the force, for someone to be weed out, you have to be caught doing something. And I think, in my opinion, that is actually what happened. And I don't look at that as a bad thing. I looked at it as, we're changing. I looked at it as a new thing. So why they were asking for resignation, I don't know. Because I'm thinking that was needed. The bad apples are there, and they got caught, and the force is now being reformed. But be it as it may, he accepted it with pleasure. He didn't feel bad about it. He made his decision. But I'm looking at the glass in another way, I think. I don't know if there's anyone else looking at it like that. Come on, call in, let us know. But I think what he said he wanted to accomplish, it was done.
In 2025, even in 2024, you hear about change. Mm-hmm. And, change is always brought to the table. But look at us here with our radio station. We're trying to get change. We're trying to create an environment that is conducive for change and learning. But, Jackie, we have so many, we call different businesses and trying to get them to come onto the show. And I want you guys to hear out there, if you have a business or you're contacted by Table of Change, there are situations going on, but I want you to believe within your heart that Table of Change is aware that there's two sides to every story. Mm-hmm. And, we here to bring the issue to the table to try and get to a conclusion from it, not to beat the business for what we heard or what the gossip is. We try to get an idea of what's happening in the organization in order to change it. Now, right now, I do have a question from Zoom. So please, if you're on Zoom, Mr. Moxie, you can go ahead for me.
Good night. Hello?
Good night. Sorry.
Good night. Basically, I really like what the first caller said about basically you have to be selfish about yourself. Yeah, basically you have to be selfish because if you keep giving and giving and giving, you ain't got nothing for you, and then you just burn out. And I feel like that's something that's really not really looked at and needs to be paid attention a little more. And about what you guys are talking about now with the new commissioner of police, I feel as though that I'm glad it's a woman because I feel like we haven't had that nurturing aspect into at such a high rank, and I feel like it'll be refreshing. And I just want to I'm so happy for her, and I hope she does wonders. So, yeah.
Thank you so much for that comment, and I'm glad that you had my back, Mr. Moxie, because Jackie was beating me up because she didn't like that word selfish. I don't know how to substitute that word and not say selfish, but maybe if I take away the selfish, Mr. Moxie, and tell her prioritize. Is it okay if I prioritize myself, Jackie, and don't be selfish with myself? Is that better for you?
You know, I'm getting it. I'm understanding it. Prioritize is a better word.
Prioritize. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for calling, Mr. Moxie. Now, for those of you listening in, remember now you're going to call 325-5403 through 5 or toll free 300-8255, or you're going to WhatsApp 357-9417. But back to what we were talking about in terms of calling businesses to have them on the show. You know, every business have a vision statement. Every business talks about customer service. But it's kind of like when we're out there trying to get you to come onto the show, you take on the defense and you hide behind, it's like hiding behind the skirt of I don't know. It's like we are not finding that you have organizations that are willing to come on. And there's so many organizations we want to get to. Like in 2025, you know, we tapped a little bit on road traffic. We tapped a little bit on NIB. But we really need to have, I'm hearing some disturbing stuff. And when I hear this stuff, I'm just asking for clarification. What is it that takes so long that when you put in for your retirement, for you now to get your actual funds? And then to have, you know, so many people are texting us and sending us messages saying that after they put in for their retirement, they were told that they were overpaid, and now that the money's going to be taken away from their actual retirement check, and they have no idea when they're going to get their funds. And let's say, just give an example, Jackie, if it's $2,000, they want to take away this $2,000 right away and hold on, and you get nothing of your pension.
So what's really happening tomorrow with we would really like someone from NIB to come on, and we can send invitations, and we're going to give you our phone number so that you can call us and let us know that you're ready, because we want to assure you that Table of Change is not going to just say all the mean things about you. Mm-hmm. Because we all know that there is a lot that we can do in most places. So we want you to know that we just want whatever's happening that's not good, the service that's really bad, we just want to help you to change the way it's being done. And of course, for you to change, you have to admit to what's going on. You have to accept if someone call in and they call their experience now, and they're going to say, I was at National Insurance and this is what happened. There's nothing wrong with that. We just want someone to come on, and maybe we are seeing things from the other side of the glass. Mm-hmm. We need you to educate us, to let us know the process, because that person who maybe was overpaid, I'm hoping that they got a call stating that they were overpaid, and whose fault is that? So let's now work together.
Jackie, you always hope for the best. They didn't get a call. They had to go back and forth and find out at the last minute that they weren't going to be paid. So there was no customer service due diligence done on that person's behalf, according to them. But like you say, there's two sides to every coin, and that's why we need like someone to come in, tell us what part of this, you know, what they say is your side, my side, and the truth. Like Ministry of Works, I just want to know why the pothole's so big, why the pothole can't be filled, and when the pothole is filled, why is it always opening up again?
You know, and that's what they need to talk about. You need to come and tell it. Is it only Ministry of Works, or is when a hole open, Is it left open because they think someone else is supposed to close it up? Because I know they have water and sewage as well, and I also know they have BTC.
Oh, you think maybe we're blaming the wrong department for this whole?
That is why we need them to come and let us know, like, we did our work and somebody else was supposed to close it up. But what I want to know too tomorrow, when I fall in those holes with my car, what do we do then? Who can we call? What do we need to do so maybe the wheel break off? How damaged does the car have to be before you can compensate? Because we'll be paying for car to be licensed and inspection every year. And so what's causing the road not to be fixed? What's causing the road to go so bad? You know, my son-in-law was trying to explain to me that the road sometimes, because it's not even, and when it rains, if the water sits there, it will break up. And so sometimes I wonder why the same hole keep coming back. So there's some things that we just need to know why it's happening. Come on board. Come to Table and Change. We are here every Tuesday at 8 to 9. We want you to come on board, sponsor us, help us. Help us do this. Help us. We're going to do this together.
And you know, when we call on PMH, I am going to defend PMH, Jackie. I am going to defend PMH because I say PMH and you done fall back in your seat. It's little things that need to change, Jackie. It's little things that need to be answered that we need PMH to come on and answer for. Why you don't have no pillows? What's going on? Why the bed always filled? Help me help you. So at Table of Change, if you come on, give us an idea. There's always the background story. You know, we won't be a part of the meeting after the meeting to make things make sense.
But you know, PMH, I'm just thinking, again, is the communication. But tomorrow we sent an invitation to PMH. I really thought that they were going to come on, PMH. But then you would have, I don't know who's the minister, because I hear them. I hear them coming on and they're saying that nothing is wrong at PMH. Sandra, I'm just going to cut that short because we want to get the callers in. Is she on the line? So Sandra, go ahead, please.
Good night to everyone in studio.
Good night.
I'm enjoying the show tonight. It's a wonderful show. I know it's you had a guest caller on the line. She's maybe already gone now, but I just wanted to make a comment in reference to taking time to. I think a comment was made about being selfish with yourself and just taking time to really renew yourself and do things, you know, for yourself. Like the person had said earlier, you can't pour from an empty cup, right? And I just wanted to make a comment and say that, you know, in today's society, I feel like a lot of times we look at things and we try to kind of water it down in a sense of what's going on. I do feel like there are a lot of people that feel drained and strained, and it's rough being a mother or wife, a good employee, and all of these things. But I think the number one thing that we are missing is that the Christ component, you know? It's not enough to just, this is my personal opinion, to just try to take time for yourself to go get your hair done, to rest, to do little things to make yourself feel better, or even just take some alone time. I think the number one reason for burnout sometimes is for us not allowing Christ to fill us. Because in everything that we do, if we do it unto Christ, in serving our children, in working, in taking on all of the burden that there is that comes with life, that when you are in Christ, that He gives the grace for you to carry all of it that it is that you are carrying. So yes, it's important to take time for yourself and all of that. That's our, but most importantly, there's a Christ component that we're missing, that a lot of us are missing today.
Wow. Caller, I think you just hit the nail We have a lot of nails hitting on the head tonight. And you hit the nail on the head. And I just said to someone, why would we use the manual when it comes to the computer being fixed or the phone? And we don't use the manual for us. What kind of people are we? Use the manual.
Yes. I truly believe, even with affirmations, you only can really receive affirmations if you know the Word of God. It's not enough for me to get up and say, I am blessed, I am favored, I am, and I'm just reading these things, but I don't really know where it comes from, the root of it, which makes it real, which makes it take on life and become bread and substance to my body. It can't just be words. It has to be a premise, and the premise is on our faith.
Wow. Really, caller, we thank you so much for those comments, because you have a good evening. Stay on and keep listening.
I will. Thank you.
You know, at the ceremony, each of the speakers you had, Clayton Fernanda, who said this experience, and you know, he said God allowed him to get in there to be the commissioner of police, and he had the time set for him, and he allowed him to leave. And he said this is going to bring him closer to Christ. So he spoke about Christ. The incoming commissioner, she spoke about Christ. The prime minister spoke about Christ. And so we're saying, the Bahamians, we have all the words. We have the foundation. We're talking about it. Now, this is a mandate. Let's put it into action, each one of us at a time, and watch the change.
Now, Jackie, I'm not being how should I say it? How much impact of changing the commissioner of police is going to have in terms of the force? Is that realistic to think that all of the that crime is going to go down because we have a new commissioner of police? Is that naive to think that if there is corruption within the organization, that is just going to go away because now we have a new commissioner of police? I'm not sure if I'm fully in agreement with this happened under your watch. You had a little longer time to be in place. I don't know in terms of, do you get to just resign now and now the problem is over to the new commissioner of police? I don't know. I think you should have been given time, or take the time to clean up what you could clean up before you now left office. Now, that's just my humble opinion. Don't bring no pressure on me.
Yeah, but that's just like how I was trying to explain it. Like, I looked at it as well done, because actually something was happening. People look at it the way they want to. They look at all the police are corrupt, but they didn't see that the corrupt ones were coming out. And no, I don't think that goes on the head of the person who's in charge, because they're not God. They don't know what goes on, and even God himself gives everybody a choice. Mm-hmm. So no, that's not going to stop crime. We just have to ourselves, one by one, realize who is responsible for it. That's the way it went down. I'm not saying it was the right way. I'm not saying it was the wrong way. That's how it is, but let's just move on from here. It should not be on the commissioner, because if crimes still happen under this new commissioner, what are we going to do? Change again? Because it has been happening in the past where after every 2 years they've been changing. So somehow someone hasn't gotten that is really not in the commissioner of police. We need to communicate. We need to talk. Just like the new commissioner said, they need to know how to relate to people. They need to do more training. We need to keep people accountable. That's what it is. We let people get away with things too much. And even as a child, if you let them get away, they're going to keep doing it over and over. We need to show more accountability. If you do something wrong, you need to pay the price. And it will help you later.
But in some positions, right, my brain went all over the place. I was with you. I was on track with what you were saying, but my brain kind of went I went a little all over the place. But what I heard too in terms of when you're in a position of power or a management position and you're trying to do the best thing for your staff that may not be liked by your staff, sometimes that manager is penalized for it. I think we have to be in an organization or a place where we are allowed sometimes a tough decision. It's not the easiest decision to make, and it's not the most popular decision, and it's not the most liked opinion. But I feel that social media, there's so many outside forces that don't have the complete story of why this decision was made, but yet still they have such an impact on the outcome of a decision. And I just feel like, when we talk about organizations coming on, come on, make us understand why certain things are being done. Like, we got a text the other day talking about the air ambulance. And you were saying about the air ambulance for me, Jackie, and you were saying that someone texted us talking about paying a fee. And if we would just get someone from air ambulance to come on and give us an idea of why that's done. I can't even remember exactly how the story goes, Jackie. Help me with the story.
I think they were saying that, when you pay for an insurance, like the air ambulance, you pay every month. There's a monthly fee that you pay, like an insurance. A life insurance. So you pay. So if you're on the family island and you need an aircraft to come and pick up someone that's sick, they come to the hospital and maybe they didn't make it, but that air ambulance would take the body back home for burial. But people have been experienced where they will want you now to pay for the air ambulance and then they pay you back afterwards. It's kind of like, what it brings? It's kind of like when you have an insurance and you go to the doctor. Some of them want you to pay up front and then put the claim in. I never understood that.
and that's what we're saying. If you come on the show, you give us an idea of why things are done, a better explanation. We wouldn't have to now just run with the negativity. And, one of the things in 2025, Jackie, I am making an effort to get the full story. Before I even now air my anger of just hearing 2 minutes of a story. And I think that we all need to do that in 2025. Let's get a full grasp of the story, just not the 2-second tidbit. It's like we're trying to make a decision based on just a tidbit, but it's a 2-hour movie. The movie has a beginning, it has a beginning, a middle, and an end, but we just had a little plot and we run with it and we run with a conclusion, and we are making ourselves a part of the negativity, and we're only accepting the little negativity. Think about how quickly it is for negativity to get around in positivity.
So that's why, Tamara, even us here tonight, we are going on our thoughts. And so that's why if we can have more people from the police force, from even the prime minister, we would want to have him on the show because they can clear up a lot of stuff that we have to all mix up in our mind. They can clear why this have to happen, why it's better. Because a lot of time we only talk about what we know and we don't know the whole story. So come on board, Prime Minister. Let's educate the Bahamas and let them know that sometimes the decision that we made that you think is not good, it's good.
Exactly. Give us the explanation.
Yes.
Let us see the back end of the story.
Right. And then let us know that, we know social media is crazy. I look at something in Freeport when they were showing how the line was so long, all these people on the line trying to get a little bit of food. And I'm saying, people ain't that crazy. And I looked and I saw the cars cycling, the same car coming back cycling. So you really have to know, Bahamas, let's choose what we are going to believe. Let's just not jump and believe it. Let's just try to say, come on board the table of change. Let's talk. Let's let them know that whatever happens really can work out for good.
We started talking to Rickell. We started talking about the seminar on Saturday, right? That's going to be New Providence Community Church, 5:30 on Saturday. And what came out of that, Jackie, we had a few callers call in talking about filling your cup. And, we started talking about 2025 and what are we going to do different than what we did last year? And what are we going to make a conscious effort in doing in terms of filling your cup? What do you do to fill your cup?
Oh, please don't think it's always the same thing for me. Fill my cup. I get up 6 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes it's 3 o'clock in the morning. And I fill my cup with the Word of God. And I have seen where sometimes if I didn't feel it, I probably would have been reacting on an empty stomach and let out things that shouldn't even come out. So I want to be able to pay more attention to my home. I want to be able to be the wife, work on me so that I can be a better wife in my home. And I guess I'm going to say, be selfish. Be selfish with what I do sometimes. Did I say that? Yes, I did. In love.
No, we changed the word. We changed the word from selfish to what? Prioritize.
Prioritize.
So we take away selfish. So, one of the things that I do to fill my cup, like you, I wake up. I'm not that disciplined now for 6 o'clock every morning, but I'm up. I'm up early, and I have enough time to now, listen to something, listen to a religious podcast or something like that. Also, listen to maybe a gospel song, but I also listen to something motivational. And the Bible and Christ, it is motivation. But I purposely listen to something that's going to give me that oomph. I need that personal motivation to get started. And I like the affirmations that Rickell gave out. I think I'm really going to purchase that book because I think one of those a day can really go a long way. But what I'm adding to my 2025 is do something to make someone else happy. Wow. Not just because I want to do it, not just because I have the time to do it, but really be purposeful in what can I do today to make my husband have a better day? What can I do today to make my children have a better day? What can I do today to make my household run smoother? What can I do today at work that could effectively show customer service and caring for the organization? So I'm trying to purposely just give one thing to all of those avenues in my life. And I find that when I'm really purposely trying to improve each one of those areas, it fills my cup.
What I want to add to that, Tamara, is Bahamas. This is what Table of Change is doing for you to make a difference. Because all of us are either a customer or we are an employee. And what Table of Change is doing, we want to get on board with the companies just to say, let's do this together. Let's make people accountable. Allow us to be a part. If someone get a bad service or a good service, please allow us to even call the name. And we want the CEO or the owner to come to the show and let's just, for you to share and say, that's not the way I want my business to operate. And so let's do it. It's for us because as customers, we pay everybody's salaries. So let's give service. Let's change the way. I want to go to the bank. I want to see people who are ready to give service. So that is what we look like we're running out of time. But that's what Table of Change is doing for the whole Bahamas. Continue to tune in. Continue to call us. Continue to 449-9106. Call us so you can book us on the show. And let's change this together.
It's all about filling your cup. We're going to fill your cup. We're going to make 2025 the year for bigger and better. But we got to take the time to if you don't make a plan, you plan to fail. If you don't have a plan, you plan to fail. So we're saying, let's go on purpose. What is your purpose? How are you going to fill your cup? What are you going to fill your cup with? Are you going to fill your cup with TikTok? Are you going to fill your cup with Netflix? Or are you going to fill your cup with something inspirational or something biblical or something that's going to now force you to come out of your shell to fill your cup? So what we're saying, 2025, choose wisely. How are we going to fill our cup? 2025 for businesses, come on board the Table of Change. How are you going to fill the cup of your business? Are you going to stand behind wanting to give this quality customer service, or it just sounds like a good fad that you want to jump on the train with, but you don't want to take it all the way to its destination? So 2025 Table of Change, fill your cup. What are you going to fill your cup with? My name is Tamara Fox-Smith.
I'm Jacqueline Fernanda Moxie.
See you next week, Tuesday, Table of Change, 8 p.m.
Don't miss it.
Good night.
Good night.